Hello, so today we have another pretty cool challenge. It's going to be Crossbow Master on Ravine Chimps. Along with that, I'm going to be bringing Churchill as the hero, so that's going to be pretty cool. And I really did this because I wanted to do more with this Crossbow Master buff, which I was informed it was like a 1% buff, so I actually did not know that. I kind of saw that there was a buff, and I'm like, oh, cool buff, I'll try some Crossbow Master stuff out now. But turns out it's like only a 1% buff, so who cares, we're still doing it. I have another video that's recorded. I think it should be out for members today too, unless I get really lazy. That's gonna be doing it on Sanctuary, which ends up being a much better game than that. Like it was a lot more optimized. I did it with Quincy because why not? Quincy is pretty fun, cool combination, I guess, and it came out pretty well. Definitely better than this one. This one was a little bit scuffed, but we will get through it. So what I'm doing here is I'm going for a early Churchill. This is gonna get Churchill on, actually I forget what round, but it's pretty early. Basically we're just using 2 triple darts and sniper and a whole bunch of micro and RNG to eventually be able to get this very early Churchill, somehow barely sneaking by some of these rounds, and we have to kind of pull a lot of strings to get this to work. So it looks like it's around 26 Churchill, I believe. Yep, there we go. We can put him down, and that's pretty good. That's pretty fast for getting Churchill, especially on an expert map like this. Then from there, we can deviate a little bit. Now I decided to take this one approach that I don't think is the best, and I'll kind of talk a little bit about that now, I guess. So basically what I did is that I had Churchill on one side, Crossbow Master on the other side, and like a Moab glue and a few presses at the top to kind of like slow things down. And what it basically does is that on, well, odd rounds, like the DDT rounds for the late game, that's just fine. I have no concern beating DDTs in all odd rounds, but even rounds on the other hand is where like 94, 96, and 98 come out, and that's generally the harder lane because they don't converge at all. They separate, and they're like that. So one thing that you could do, which I ended up doing here, was have Churchill doing damage on one side, Crossbow Master doing damage on the other side, and then what that will do is we'll have like a bunch of presses and Moab glue up at the top, so they kind of slowly break apart these rounds, and like a bunch of Moabs come down here and there, like kind of in large clusters per se. So you'll never have the 2 towers at the bottom, well, I guess on each side, dealing with like a whole BFB or a whole ZMG. It's just going to be like a bunch of Moabs coming down in like random periodic ways, and that was the approach that I did. So ideally you could have 2 kind of weak damage towers, not really a lot of damage at all, deal with enough of these random waves of Moabs. With enough RNG it could work, I guess. And I don't think that would work out the best because I underestimated, especially on Churchill's side it was way worse. In fact, I found it was better to just use my overclock on the Crossbow Master, because the Crossbow Master would straight up do more damage and it actually had the range to hit the other side, so it would end up cleaning up for Churchill anyways. It might be because the snowstorm at the bottom, which I had to really like grab a lot of the ceramics, it didn't have village buff, so no jungle drums and also no primary training, which deterred it a bit, but even then it was just really underperforming. Same if I even put it on last and did a whole bunch of micro, like I was trying to do that too, and it was just underperforming to me. So you'll be able to see that, I guess. When it came to the late game, I basically ended up having to buy way more support than I did, and I actually did this challenge exactly with Crossbow Master and Churchill a long time ago. Then it was a lot harder than what this was, plus a lot of towers since then have been nerfed that I was using, and I was still able to get like some cash back. I mean, I did get a lot. I think it was like 12,000 in this round. Now the other one I had nothing to spare, and with some nerf towers, I guess that's all right. I mean, Crossbow Master is 1% stronger in this, but not really much else besides that. So yeah, I think like I did all right, but there's some things like doing this approach. There are things I could cut. Primary mentoring definitely could be cut. I feel like I don't think that was totally necessary because I didn't really have much of anything benefiting from the extra range or the attack speed cooldown. I think I could have gotten fine with that one Arctic or one snowstorm that was on there, and also I didn't expect to have to buy so many towers at the top, so I never got a discount up there. Having a discount up there would definitely help, and with enough RNG, I think it's definitely possible to cut either the Relentless Glue upgrade or like one Moab press. I think cutting the relentless glue upgrade would be better, so it would just be a 023 glue. With that, you'd probably save, I don't know, like 4,000. Actually, no, it would be more than 4,000 because the relentless glue is kind of expensive, like $6,000-7,000, something around there maybe. Which, I mean, I think that would give me a decent amount of cash spare, just doing with this approach. But I think it would be cheaper to do a different approach where you put Crossmaster and Churchill on the same side, or I mean, just straight up using a better hero. I think Sai would work a lot better. But besides that, if I'm going to be using Churchill and Crossmaster together, it would be putting them on the same side and using a Condor and Juggernaut to move everything over to one other side, and then I guess you'd have Elim that would insta-kill the ZOMGs on the other. For the Bloons, you actually could take care of that with like just one Juggernaut and a Spike Ball, maybe. I don't know. Probably a cheaper way to figure that out, though. Another approach that I was thinking of was you could get more damage, which I don't think was really necessary, because it's not like using, if you have like this strategy or approach on Ravine, getting more damage wouldn't help, but consolidating the support would probably be better, because I ended up buying like a lot of random support towers. It was 3 presses and a relentless glue, and then there is also that main Moab down there. I think it would be a lot better if I could have consolidated that up into possibly like a super glue, I want to say, which is kind of bold. There's another thought of putting the Crossbow Master at the top, which is kind of interesting. I don't really know how that would go down. I've never tried something particular like that. I've seen strategies where you had Moab domination up there, so I can't really say how that would work. I could try it to see if it would work out well, but I really can't give any indication on how good that would be, just because of a lack of experience. But other than that, it was a pretty chill run. There were some annoying moments, but really all the annoying moments came from Churchill. If I leaked on the Crossbow Master side, it was my fault for not setting it from last to first fast enough. Crossbow Master seemed to be able to deal with all the Moabs, the Moab Illuminator and presses could send their way. Churchill, on the other hand, he just like didn't really get the ceramics a lot of the time. It was kind of annoying. So yeah, just stuff like that. A bit of a bakabuka, I'd say. But anyways, I yapped through like 7 minutes of this video. I think I'm just gonna put some music on at the end and enjoy the rest of this game. Bye. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!